Right, to discuss this further, let's now bring in Chris Ochamringa, who's in Kinshasa, as well as Ethan Tashobia, who joins us from Kigali this hour. Welcome to Africa Live, gentlemen. Chris, I'll begin with you. What more can you tell us on this regional economic framework and its importance to this ongoing peace process?
Yeah, so this regional economic framework is ultimately supposed to stabilize that area in Eastern DRC that has had conflict for more than 3 decades and bring about lasting peace. So under the deal, U.S. businessmen are supposed to invest millions of dollars in that area, in the mining sector. You know, that area, like you mentioned, Maria, has a lot of coltan, tungsten, tin, lithium, gold, and other minerals that are very critical for the green energy transition. And so they also, Rwanda and the DRC are supposed to carry out the joint management of national parks. The DRC has a park there known as Virunga National Park, which shares a border with Rwanda and Uganda. It has a lot of rare bird and animal species like mountain gorillas that attract a lot of tourists. So they're supposed to manage it jointly to ensure that both sides get revenue from this park, because there has been a lot of rebel activity in Eastern DRC, and many of those animals have been killed by rebels. Some have fled to neighboring countries. So when peace is established, then both countries will have a lot to gain in terms of foreign exchange. They're also supposed, the United States investors are supposed to carry out hydropower projects and other infrastructure projects in that area for the prosperity of both countries. So the idea is that if there's a lot of money, there's a lot of trading between Rwanda and the DRC, then these countries will stop looking at each other as enemies and focus on keeping the peace so that they can all get this revenue which will develop their country.
Right, and
but
Chris,
there's some Congolese elite who have criticized that deal. They're saying... Go ahead, Maria.
Sorry, let me just jump in. We did know, Chris, that last week both countries were to start implementing security measures under the peace deal. Did that implementation actually begin? And also, what is Kinshasa saying are the issues hindering the implementation of the economic deal there?
So this peace deal, known as the concept of operations, which was picked from an earlier peace deal, the Rwanda process that was mediated by Angola and incorporated into this Washington peace deal, has 2 major issues. One is that Rwanda and the DRC are supposed to come up with a harmonized plan of neutralizing an armed group known as the Democratic Forces for the Liberation of Rwanda. This is largely composed of ethnic Hutus who are said to have carried out the genocide in Rwanda in 1994. They have been based in Eastern DRC since fleeing from Rwanda. And in return, the Rwanda is supposed to withdraw its troops from Eastern DRC, what they call the lifting of their defensive measures. Now, both countries have been accusing each other of failing to carry that out. During the recent UN General Assembly, the DRC President Felix Tshisekedi made it very clear before delegates that the withdrawal of Rwandan troops is from DRC, all the occupied territories in DRC, is a non-negotiable issue for lasting peace to be established. The Rwandan foreign minister who represented President Paul Kagame also said the DRC government has continued supporting the FDLR rebels. So they have, these accusations have been traded, and that is what has hindered them from carrying out this deal which is supposed to restore peace in Eastern DRC. Maria?
All right, let me bring in Ethan now, who's standing by for us in Kigali. Ethan, regional economic framework that we've been hearing was expected to be signed this week. What is Kigali saying is stopping the implementation there?
Mahia, at least we've not heard anything from Kigali official, but we've been following conversations in Washington from Rwanda being represented by the Permanent Secretary to the UN, Ambassador Martin Goge. There have been quite a heated debates and conversations regarding the frameworks, the peace frameworks, the economic frameworks as well. And Rwandan official, Ambassador Martin Goge, has maintained that officials over there and everyone involved has not seen FDLR as a threat in this case. And Rwanda has maintained that once that is not seen as such, there's not going to be any lifting of Rwanda's defensive measures. In this case, like my colleague mentioned, the withdrawal of Rwandan troops from the DRC, though they have not clearly mentioned and stated that there are any troops over there. So the issue remains the concerns of Rwandans in this case, which is the neutralization of the FDR and other security threats in eastern part of DRC have not seen as a threat to Rwanda's security. And that is a huge concern of debate for Rwanda. And that's why they're saying that there's no political will from the other side of the border, that is DRC, regarding the neutralization of the FDR. And once that is not seen as such, it's going to not bring any other deal signed between Rwanda and the DRC. So that's sort of a, pull and push between Rwanda and the DRC, as also other parties involved, in this case the United States and other partners in the UN Security Council.
Right. Finally, Ethan, there are, of course, plenty of moving parts to this story, but looking ahead, how is Kigali preparing to move forward with the economic deal?
The economic deal is seen as one component towards bringing lasting peace between Rwanda and the DRC. But with that to be in place, there has to be a lot of commitment from the DRC in regards to the neutralization of the security threats that are faced with Rwanda. This is the FDR that is once again being discussed highly in this the debate that we've seen over the last week. They've been mentioning that DRC, as long as DRC does not see FDR as a threat to Rwanda's security, there will not be any deal.